Welcome back. The weeks are flying by. It is May 4th, right? Everyone's got the May the 4th be with you. And if anybody knows me, or maybe you don't know me, if you've just been tuning in, thank you, welcome. But I am a massive, Star Wars and Star Trek fan. I always have been since I was a little girl. If you read my book, God, Where Are You? It's Me, I talk about how being a child and the influence that a character like Yoda had on my life with believing, and then also wondering what is really going on in this world. It's kind of what I want to talk about today. So if you haven't got a copy of my book, go and get it. God, Where Are You? It's Me. Really talks about, it's actually quite relevant for what we're going through right now. Although I weave my story through this with you, it's very relevant because a lot of times what happens in the world, and it is a call-in show, 1-800-930-2819. Charlie's with me today, and he's not liking the construction guys outside, so we'll see how he makes out. A lot of times, if you've read my book or you understand when you're going through challenges and changes, the universe is really very good and very crafty at giving us subtleties in our lives. And the question is, are you looking for those, or are you looking for the mainstream narrative? So when things change in our world and you're ready to make a change and you're ready to make a shift, you got to get out of the mainstream narrative. That's not where the subtle information is for the most part. I mean, like that regular daily, like you're seeing right now, there's one narrative, there's another. We've been in this massive shift of the light has won already, but you're still probably, if you're in a country like I am, every day they're getting stricter and stricter and stricter. But the only reason things are like that, right? And the only reason we get intense pressure in our lives, whether it's your work where you have intense pressure, or maybe it's your relationship, intense pressure, maybe it's your connection to God. You feel like, where's my intuition? What's happening? Thank you, God. It's a God of your understanding. If you haven't heard me say this before, it's how you relate to me. It's this beautiful presence of love with the Christ consciousness and guides, angels. It's beautiful. But when you have pressure in your world, so maybe it's your health, you're like, what's going on with my health? And if you know my story, for me, it was health, it was relationship, it was connection, it was seeing dark things, and all this. The reason the universe does this is to wake you up. It's the way that the body gets jolted and says, oh my gosh, like I need to wake up. Like this is not working for me. Like something needs to change. Something needs to transition. And right now we're in that transition. Right now we're in the biggest transition. You hear people say this, but you're like, I'm frustrated. If it's happening, why are the masses not getting it? And it's actually quite interesting because a lot of the masses are getting it. It's just being filtered out. Now, if you're a very aware soul, you can say, my family doesn't get it. Your family doesn't get it because you're the laundry cleaner of the family. There's a point where you stop doing their laundry. I talk a lot about this in our Miraculous Academy, our Evolutionary Academy. And why? Because it's changing all the time. We're shifting all the time. That's where you go if you really want like nonstop daily support, updates, guidance, what's happening. Those are the academies where I'm with you 5 days a week, but now it's 7 days a week because we're on Telegram, right? And I'm giving you the live, what is happening, what's shifting, things that I can't go into, here, but I can on that platform and really, really give you the goods so you know what to do and be empowered. So that's where you go. So one of the things, there's two things that are going on right now that I wanted to share with you that I could at this level right now. And hopefully give you a little bit of ease in your system. So you probably noticed last week with the moon, you were like, oh my God, a lot of people were emailing me and they're on the Telegram. I feel like I'm just ready to bop someone. And that's normal, guys. I even felt it. I'm like, ooh, but we were being called to go deeper, to release more. So you can actually, between now and September, and I've said this since last year, wait, the jaws are going to start dropping, the information, the truth that's come out. So literally you are being called to clean yourself more, to rise to this higher vibration, so you can help them when their jaws hit the floor and they're like, oh my God, you weren't in that job. Oh my God, you knew what was going on, but you're going to be there to help them. You're going to be up there to lift them up. So two things. And if you want to know more about what I'm going to bring up right now, you can come to the May 8th event. It's 2 hours this weekend, 10 to noon Eastern time. And I'm going to be talking about the quantum financial system, why you're not going to wake up and it's just going to be shifted over. I'm also going to be talking about a lot of body shift. We're going to be a lot of body shifts, a lot of clearings, a lot of activations, a lot of financial stuff, a lot of your questions. So if you've ever been to my events, you know, we try to stay with 2 hours, but prepare if they're a little bit longer, but you do have a replay for 5 days. So that will help you if you want to understand more of this and you want your body to be more shifted and aligned. Thank you, God. So I say thank you, God, a lot, because we always got to give credit and power to the hand of God. So there's a few things that are happening. So one, with the quantum system, a lot of people ask me, you know, do I pay my bills or what? Is it just going to shift over? This is a gradual thing, guys. You got to understand why it's a gradual thing. And I will get more into detail to that. But no, you're not just going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be changed. But I can tell you that all of the financial systems around the world, and you can see it energetically, you can hear it from some very, you know, strong people, they have played in the dark. They have played to doing things that you and I we want to see an end to it. We want to see an end to trafficking. You want to see an end to drugs. You want to see an end to war. You want to see, we're ready as humanity to see an end to this so we can have more prosperity for all of humanity, for more joy for all of humanity, for those things to stop. So there's more love, there's more kindness, there's more prosperity for all of humanity. So that system has fed that system forever. And it is it is crumbled. There already, you can see there's no life force energy. And if you've been in my academies, I've said this, you know, for 5 years, I've been saying, prepare, because it's going to shift. But, you know, don't go into the doom and the gloom of it. Understand it's shifting to the better as that's crumbling. So will this system just take over? No. And I'll get more into why that won't take over, but it's going to take over a couple of years. It could go all the way out to 10 years, right? That's why we're seeing things in cryptocurrencies come up very strong, and they've been very strong for 11 years, trying to find their footing. I always say it's like, it's kind of like the internet days. If you remember, I'm going to age myself here, but because I didn't have internet growing up, right? That was new. I think it didn't really come in until I was in grade 12 or something like that. And the only person in the computer lab was that one nerd who, you know, that one nerd did very well. We were like, that's the nerd in there. We were all being so cool, partying and doing whatever, right? We should have been the nerd. But anyways, we were all considered nerds, but, you know, in our own right, but not that kind. It was different. But we were considered nerds because we were different. But that's okay. We weren't into the computers. But the thing that I noticed was shifting here a lot, right, is with the systems, is these have, if you look at the new ones that are coming, it is like the internet days. So you remember when Netscape, if you remember, was like the big, you know, everybody had Netscape, and then Netscape went away, and then we morphed into all these other systems. And that's basically what's going to happen in a brief. And I will explain more of this over the weekend, but it's, I want you to understand that. So people will say to me, do I pay my bills? Yes, you pay your bills. Like, pay your bills. Okay. Don't get caught up that you're going to wake up tomorrow. So that would cause too much chaos. And, you know, people are having a hard time right now with just the subtle truths coming out. So I just wanted to drop that with you guys, and I'll see that. So it is coming to a better place. Already won, already happened. The light has already won. The other thing I wrote down that God showed me this morning, because everything I do on my shows, you know, is channeled. Every event I do, there is no script. It's kind of like, you know, God says, could do an event on this day, and I throw it up on the website, and people are like, that's crazy. You don't have it planned for the year. But I don't, because except for our weekend event, which I know God said do it in October, because October, you can see, is like major breakthrough. So we have them in May, we see in October. So to support people and to understand, you got to stay current with the energy. So an idea that maybe placed, you know, 6 months ago has shifted as the energy keeps shifting and changing. So I channel every event we do, every academy we're in. There's no scripts, there's no notes. It's just, God, what do we need to tell the people? What do we need to shift? What do we need to align? What do we got to clean out of the body? So that's how I work. It's how we do the radio show. There's no script or anything. So this morning, I'd ask God, I was like, what's the thing that we need to seed into you guys so you can understand? And one of the messages I wrote down was that events in the light can sometimes seed what seems like darkness or fear. So people say, well, the light is always happy and positive, but sometimes when you're not getting the message, sometimes the light can also, and people of the light can see things that will be fearful. So you will wake up more. So you will become more aware. So you'll get a jolt. And that isn't meant to be taken on a negative space, but you can see like there's a lot of information going on around the medicines. I'm gonna call them the medicines. And like 50% of it is overblown. It really is overblown. There's a lot of people in the light that have been doing things to share. So very good information, absolutely. And there's a lot of areas that are not overblown. But some of it where it's really, I'm like, whoa, overblown, overblown. But the reason it's been seeding into your world as overblown, don't go down the rabbit hole, is to wake you up more, to wake somebody up that may go, that's baloney or that's nonsense, or, I'm being polite here, but basically they're saying that's crap, but then they might get something that jolts their system. So we got to be very discerning when you're looking at information. This is why, for me, it's so important to empower you, to teach you the skills that you need, that you can have so you can go into your everyday life and empower you. This is what I do in my academies, because you got to be empowered. You got to know when you're walking down the street, how are you discerning that information? When somebody's telling you something, how are you discerning the information? And when the light is maybe scaring the pants off you a little bit, it's like, how do we discern that? So there's high energy in the movement now. The light has won into, and it has for like over 6 months. It was really touch and go there. Like I was holding on with you guys. If you're in my community, you've heard my show. It's like, we got to keep going because we had to keep pushing the energy over into the light. But we're getting there. The numbers are getting there. The vibrations getting there. The people are getting there. Thank you, God. And much more. So every time another piece of information comes out, another person wakes up. This is how you have to see it right now. So it's quite cool where, I see now, seniors that are speaking out that were so, a year ago, we're like, no, we got to listen, got to be. Now they're like, this is nonsense, blah, 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 and they're really seeing the truth. So more people, that's your job. So remember, when you receive information, a lot of the dark information is put out there to keep you in fight or flight mode. And when you remove from fight or flight mode, then you allow the alignment of your parasympathetic nervous system. So you got to get out of fight or flight mode, and you want to start to strengthen yourself into understanding the truth. So fight or flight has been the way they've always gotten you to conform, always gotten you to do what they wanted you to do. But in the light, see, your parasympathetic is happy, it's joyous, it's peaceful, it's calming down. A lot of the information we've grown up with is now shifting and changing, and it's changing and shifting to this great new space because we're moving now into this new reality. So I wanted you to remember that it comes subtly, right? So information's subtle. So I will give you a subtle piece of information that got out there and then people just discounted it right away. So some of people got medicine, but it was saline. So you can see that wasn't an accident, but that's also seeding into people to understand that there is something different going on that you're not aware of. It's like the banking institution. If you go to 2008, I tell a story that happened to me in my academy. Now, I wouldn't tell it here, but I tell it in my private academies so they can learn. And they all know, if you're in my private academy, you know what I'm talking about, what happened before the banks almost went down in 2008 and Lehman Brothers went down. And I got a very blessed piece of information that none of you would have gotten. And so why did that happen? It was the right connections, the right people, but not fair for you. So recently, as we've looked at the institutions and we look how they're all faltering, they're not telling you, they never fixed the problem in 2008, but they're not telling you what's going on behind these scenes. So you don't know, you wouldn't have known if the whole bank had gone down in 2008, you wouldn't know until you woke up, but there was information being seeded for you to understand what was going on. So this is what's happening now is I need you to understand there's so much information being cleaned out from the dark that you're seeing a lot of that because they have to tell you what they're doing. What you're not tuning into if you're running on fear. Now, listen to me before we go to the phone lines, very clear about this. If you are running on fear, you're not tuning into the information that's being seeded by the light. And the light has been doing for probably 50 years. There's been different people, and they've had to do it very strategically to get to this point. We always knew 2020 is the kickoff point for the new, right? For this new Aquarius age. We knew this was 2020. Now being in 2021, things have to get heated to bring that down. So the light is always doing things behind the scenes you don't see until it comes to fruition. No different till the masses are ready to hear it, but no different in your own world. When you change something inside of you and you change your wealth vibe, or you change your health vibe, or you change your love vibe, your intuition, your connection, none of that information is out usually the next day. It changes inside of you. Your frequency changes, and then you push that to the world. And then you're like, oh my gosh, my dreams, my visions, they might come in a minute, they might come in 10 years, but they start coming and you're walking in them. And you're like, wow. And I know this for fact, guys, because this is how I live my life. If you know, the first 32 years of my life were horrible. The next 18 was this. Yes, I'm 29. Okay, the next 18, I always pretend I'll be 29. The next 18 years were learning and growing. But the things that I saw or wanted or created, many years ago, I live in that now. I live in that now. So it didn't happen on my time, and nothing will happen on your time. Thank you, God. So thank you, God. Okay, before we go to the phone lines, there is a question here I will answer. And then we're going to head over to Christine from Georgia. So hang on a second. When you say the light is one, what does that mean? Are we not going to see like these, okay, economics things? I'm going to talk a lot about that on my event on Saturday, a lot. Because yes, so about 6 months ago, the light has won. I keep saying to my academies, you got to be patient. You got to be so patient right now. Do not buy all that information. I got major, major chills from top of my head to the soles of the feet. So take this. You can see they're going to try. You can see, because they're not going to go down lightly. That's not what they do. They're going to try, and they're going to keep trying. But if I say to people, hold out until September, October, and there's going to be a lot of more information that you can see. I have said this for over a year. So I know people say, well, I've been hearing other people say that. If you've been in my academy, you've heard me say this since last January. You've heard me talk about finances for over 5 years. I'm not like, I don't sit there. I don't do tarot. I just ask God, I see, feel, hear, what do we have? That's it. I don't know. And like, let's just carry on. Then we get that confirmation back. So they have won. So hold out until the fall with all of this information coming out, with all of the truth starting to come out. You can see, I always say, we build from 2021 to 2023 to 2025. So a lot of this information may not come to full completion until 2023. Timing can always change. But right now, it looks like a lot of it will. So yeah, I'm not putting any energy into those passports. There's lots of places that are saying no way. There's lots of governments that are going to be held accountable. There's lots of politicians that will be held accountable. There are good ones working there. There are good ones. You have to remember that, but they will be held accountable. The only reason your body is like, is because we've never seen it in 2,000 years. We have seen these people over and over and over. So there's a part of us that gets in doubt, and we're like, really could it be happening? Like, we can feel it, but it will be happening. So I put no energy. You can see they keep trying, they try, but it dissipates, it moves, it shifts. There's all this info. So that's the light that's been working for so many years to restructure. Because think about that. If they do put all that, is all dark draconian energy. And I know there's information, and especially if you live in Canada where I do, which you do, guess what happens, right? It's like they're following that script. They're following the script. But I also can tell you, you can see energetically, there's a lot of people that have been, let's say, infiltrated now by the light, that are going to be following the script. They have to. And the more stupidity that comes out of these people's mouths, the more you know that they are also seeding into you to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. So thank you, God. It's coming. And this is why I keep everyone informed. If you're not on my ministry page for the my community, go to the free website or go to tracylclark.com. You can sign up for the newsletter. I don't spam you. I don't do a lot there. What I do is there's a link to my Telegram, and it's the free ministry page. Go there, and every day I'm also, there's lots of chats. We just started it. So there's, just over probably about 130 people right now. Bring your friends. We just got it going, and we're going to start. I'm constantly on there updating you, letting you know what's happening too. And I love Telegram because we can be very open, very free. So that's where I say to people, start. And if you want really more in-depth info, then you know the other places. So that's where it goes. Okay, so much channeling coming through. I'm like, thank you, God. I'm so excited. How can you tell? Because don't trust me, guys. I went through my ups and downs too over the last year because I'm like, you could see if you've heard me last March, I'm like, there's no energy to this. This is like all kind of dark black magic. I'm like, there's nothing there. So it's frustrating when you see this, but I know enough. I listen exactly to what that hand of God tells me because that's how I got to here today. Otherwise I'd be dead. If you know my story, right? I had to have enough near-death experience to say, okay, I'm going to listen to God. So I don't doubt what I see, feel, hear, even if anybody thinks I'm nuts. Don't care. And that's where you got to get to. Strong, use your voice, be grounded, and know you're with us in the boat. Thank you, God. Okay, let's go to Christine from Georgia.
Yeah, we've got Christine from Georgia. Christine, you're on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Christine.
Hello.
How are you today?
Hi, Reverend T. Very well,
Hello.
thank you. I'm so glad I got to talk to you.
Yeah, so happy to have you
You've
here.
answered a lot of the things that have been on my mind. I've moved past flight or flight and just moved into freeze. And I just turned 50 May 1st. And
welcome to the club.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
I thought I was gonna be celebrating, but instead I was kind of rolled up in a ball. I feel better today, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my career path. And there's a store, Art and Soul, that the owner asked me to send my resume, and I feel like I could be of service there. And I'm wondering if there's anything anywhere else I could go to be of service. And my energy and my thyroid is still affecting me, and I was hoping that you could do some shifting and sifting, or let me know what I need to know. I'm trying, Tracy. I'm doing so much better, though.
Thank you, God. Yeah, I'll start moving it. It's been hard on all the light workers. I did a post. I tend, like I said, not to be on Facebook too much, but I try. It's a platform I struggle with, but I was saying that a lot of light workers have been very weary, and they're weary because it's sort of like we can feel we're sort of been in the battle for our whole life in a sense. And now we're like holding the light and people are waking up. So the energy fields got a little bit rocked, but that's changing now. That's shifting. I can move that for you. I might burp here, so I apologize. There's a lot of energy moving. And also what happens with our birthdays, and all justice for you. And I just went through the same one, and it is, there's disappointment. It's like, hey, we want to go celebrate. These are big transitions and changes. So there is a little bit of, disappointment there, but we can clear that very quickly. The other thing your body's doing right now, it's recalibrating basically for I keep hearing the next decade. And so you're putting in finally, it's sort of like you've made choices that in this decade, and I'll strengthen this for you, that there's no more kind of waffling, wavering. You're really getting centered, like really going, I'm only going to do things that align with my truth. Can you feel that in yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's
I'm
all this
feeling lighter.
Oh yeah, I'm moving this off. I get chills. It's like this knife's coming down basically and cutting off a whole bunch of old patterns and information. The thyroid actually, it's starting to spark, which when I see that means it's getting ready to repair, restore, regenerate, because now you're going to start using your voice more. And there's a confidence that we can start to anchor in. Thank you, God. We're going to speak that in and really pull that into your body. Stop. Okay. Their spirit's been so busy lately. So I channel really fast. So I apologize. But they say, stop second guessing yourself. There's no more second guessing. Use your voice, be in your power. No more second guessing. How does that feel when I say that to you?
Yes, I've been called crazy, and people don't take me seriously. And, I've almost gotten, I guess you could say, spirit scared and shut off a lot of my inner knowing, and I'm ready to remove the filters and open up to what I've been told to be afraid of all my life.
No more.
And be heard. More. I've definitely. I think that's partly why my thyroid is affected. Is because I've been told not to talk or keep my mouth shut and not heard. And I I guess I need to talk to people that want to listen instead of trying to force myself upon my family that don't listen to me. So,
Oh, I love you said this. I'm going to clean this off. So, at the top of the hour, I said we're laundry cleaners. You need to be like, that's why I say to people, get even to the ministry telegram where you're going to people that won't think you're crazy. We're all crazy together, but we're told we're crazy, deemed we're crazy because the dark energy wants us to be this distracted energy, right? They want people to turn away. There's a lot of energy leaving out of your heart. So what happens is we try to convert our family. And I always say to people, you're not to convert your family. You're to learn how you were there to change the family pattern, which means you will be the outsider, you will be different. So I'll strengthen this because once you get that, we can move the energy to the people you're meant to help. I literally had walked away from my family for a long time. This was like, you're out there. I didn't care, but taking that strength, because what I'll cut off for you is you have this thing. It's like, they keep saying like duty to family. Like if you haven't woken them up or you didn't do something, that something was wrong. Like you didn't do your calling or your duty. So they keep saying, remove the spirit of duty and what you had there. So that looks like other lifetimes as well, that we can start to move off. Thank you, God. And we'll open it. This actually opportunity looks good for you. But what they say is you may not be there that long. Now, energy can change, and they're reading this very crazy. So you may not be there that long because it's a springboard to other things. But what it'll do is anchor in your confidence, anchor in what you're doing, anchoring the people that you're meant to connect with. And it'll allow you to use your voice, which we can speak in the new thyroid to repair, restore, and regenerate. There's also some chemical toxins that came into the body that we can start to remove out of the body to start to eliminate and dissolve them as your body's moving to a higher frequency so the thyroid can reset. And I'll give you a good piece of info is everyone that I've seen and worked with over the years, when they started to actually come into the full alignment of the truth, I've had people that had 20 years thyroid issue, no more thyroid issue. Like even their doctors like, how's this possible? The one thing, if anybody's listening right now and you have thyroid and you start to work on it, please know that if you are on any sort of medicine, when you work on your thyroid, you can have you can start feeling crampy, hard, something's wrong. It's not wrong. It means you go to your doctor and you get it checked. Because I can tell you 100% of the people I've seen and worked with this, they've had to lower their dose. The doctors don't understand, and that is okay, but please work with them to lower the dose. So I just want to put that out there in case anyone's like, what's happening? How does that feel now, Christine? Now that we moved a lot of that out.
Yeah, I feel light and tingly all over. And
Olivia, did we
yeah,
lose Christine?
I know a lot of things that I need to do, and like I stopped taking all my medicine for a while, and then I started again. But now I think I should just not take any medicine.
Oh, there we go. No, I wasn't for you for medicine. I was just saying for people listening who have medicine. So, because sometimes when we shift, people are like, so that was my caveat for people that had medicine. I don't want them to be like, oh, I know I can see you're not, you wouldn't be there. But how does that feel with the shift now, with the job, with the strength? How does your body feel?
That feels wonderful. I understand that there's probably something better for me, but I do need to get my confidence up to, and but I can see where that job could lead to better avenues. And
it's a springboard, and the more you start getting in your power, you're going to see the right people. You can just see it's like you're shifting from an old world to a new world. So don't be afraid of that. Like, it's very clear, don't be afraid, because you've kept things more in your life safe on what other people wanted, but that's dissolving now. That's why you're feeling this push. You got to get going. The world needs you.
Yeah, I felt like I missed the boat, and
no
that I missed all chances of ascending, and that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And I guess that's why I got depressed, but I'm just making best of what I have now. I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I can tell you 1,000% you didn't miss the boat. You got to understand too, that, when you said people were thinking you're crazy, and for everybody listening, please take this in. We were all crazy at an early age because we were kind of like the pioneers of really moving through into this energy space. And now we're going to all be, it's totally shifting. So we were just being prepped. So you haven't missed the boat. You were being prepped, taking in your knowledge, your wisdom, your connection, and now you're being asked to use it and step into it rather than just being in the background. That's why you haven't missed the boat.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So step into it and keep me posted. Proud of you. Keep going. It's a good time.
Oh, thank you so much, Tracy.
You're
Love you.
welcome. Lots of love,
Bye-bye.
lots of love. All right, we're going to go to Jennifer from Chicago.
Yeah, Jennifer from Chicago. Let's see. Jennifer, you are on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. Oh, I didn't know you were going to get to me.
There you go. See, it's all when you call in.
Wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, so I wanted to get your view on, I'm also transitioning into life coaching rather than my office job, and I want to move into that, and anything you see around there that I need to shift so that that could be more my primary or anything around that.
Okay, so moving from where you are now, and it is, like I said, this is a lot of people are feeling the need to change to go to where their purpose is, just like we were saying with Christine. And I love that so often when you guys call in, there's a theme. The theme is I need to get to where I need to go, not what I feel obligated to do. So where there is now the coaching you like, the coaching you seem to enjoy, you want, and because you want to help people, there's a big line in there that wants to help. I just want to see, because there is a block, and I want to just see if we can move this out and see what that is a little bit clearer for you, going from what you know to something unknown. Okay, there's a fear, and this seems like something that we got to remove it out of the family line, is that it's showing up in the family line. Your family line is stronger throughout the generations to play it safe versus taking a leap of faith. So how does that feel when I say that?
Yeah, I would say that it relates to kind of everything that I want to move into more of where my tribe is, but my efforts of going for it has not shown me, it's not produced it.
No.
So I've wondered for the longest time why the efforts that I've done. I've tried many things, introspection, clearing of the energy, you name it. It's not really produced it. So that would make sense, keeping me stuck there.
Yeah, because what I'll move here energetically, and what's happening is it's kind of like, it's sort of like what's happening in the world right now with lockdowns. We're open, we're closed, we're open, we're closed, we're open, we're closed. It's like the same thing reflecting back. You're like, I'm here, I'm gone, I'm going to go to my no job. Okay, I'm going to put my toe in. Okay, I'm not here. So it's a phonetic energy that people can't read. Like, are you really here? Are you moving forward? And then there's an energy that we're going to readjust for you that also says, okay, they might go, she's there, but okay, she's not going to be here very long. So they start to feel like you're not even going to be there because you might be back at the old job playing it safe. So then it's hard for them to build the trust that way, right? They want to know that you're going to be there. Even though you say I've done the steps, it's an energy they pick up on. So if you're okay, I'm just going to start to remove, this is the root. So a lot of times we can be doing the right things and say, why isn't it moving? What's happening? Like we're letting people know we're showing up, but it's a feeling. They want to know you're there, you're consistent, and this is a transition. So I'll move the energy.
Who do you mean by they?
So when you're actually moving into a new area, so you want to do coaching, and you want to start getting clients, and you want to start putting yourself out there, and you want to start having that as a regular space, not just a touch go. So anybody that would come to you for that sort of business would be reading you as that you may not be there because you're playing it safe. So it's like you're open, close, open, close, open, close energetically.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
So I want to remove that and strengthen you to be strong in yourself. Now we build a bridge. So when we build a bridge, we build it from where you are now while you're building your company over here, while you build your new business with alliances. It looks like you do well with alliances with other people that already have some things that are established. And then they also will help to catapult you. So we can start to see that energy, which will also help you, because seem to like to be with other people too. You're not really, you don't want to just be by yourself all day. That's no fun. So,
Well, and that's the thing. Like I said, I've been making the effort to find my tribe and who I connect with and click with. And
yeah.
I just feel that something's happening, that it's not coming to me. I've done the effort for it, looked in different areas, and so at this point I wasn't sure. And the same with a mate. So it feels like kind of everything's in a holding pattern and not necessarily moving forward or changing.
Yeah. And that's that play it safe. And that's that, like I said, that open close energy. But I'm just going to start to close that up and we'll seal those doors and strengthen you. So what you want to do is like, I always say the tool to reset, let go on the heart. Thank you, God, reset, let go. So you want to remove any of the accumulation of energy, so and you can reset and let it go. But what you need to focus on is like, thank you, God, everybody, I am open for business. Like you got to get really strong. Like I am here, I am staying, I am open for business. I'm not playing it safe anymore, and have that conversation with yourself so the rest of the energy can anchor in. So the clients and your tribe can feel it and go, she's not going anywhere. And as soon as that clicks in, watch, it'll start to move. It'll start to move. How does that feel?
That's interesting.
Now that we've...
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. I'm just wondering, saying it to myself and wanting it, how do I actually have it click in so it's, sure, steady, and firm?
Yeah. So just repeat what I just said. And as we've been moving the energy, you got to repeat that. And every day when you show up, you want to repeat that. Even though you're in the other space, you still keep repeating that. And then you can ask yourself to remove any known or unknown blocks or energies or resistance out of your field. And I always say to go to the known or unknown, because then spirit can start to clean, spirit can start to move it, and you don't have to analyze it. You don't have to think. And then it's like, show me the next step. Show me what's coming in. I always teach people how to bring in. So you're seeing it, you're feeling it, you're really observing, and you stop and you're like, you're seeing the signs, and even if it feels funny or the people around you are like, what are you doing? Because we all get that. It's like, I just got to do it. And the knowing's going to get stronger, and then you'll see the fruition come from it. There'll be a lot more movement in a lot of people's businesses in space, actually, after we get through September, October as well. And a lot more energy shakes up. And there's going to be a lot of turmoil for sure between now and 2023. But that's where I always say coaches and energy and truth seekers, they're going to be really needed. So you'll be at the right time. So don't hesitate or fear that you've planted these seeds and you're in a drought. You're not in a drought. Keep watering them and keep going back. So if you listen to the replay, you'll listen to what I said. Keep putting that and keep seeding that energy, and then you'll start to feel it. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Keep watering the seeds.
Keep watering, keep going, and keep showing up, and you're going to see it. It's going to come off. So thank you, God. I'm so happy you called in today. Have an incredible day, Jen.
Thank you, Tracy. You too.
So much love. All right, we're going to go to Nancy from New Jersey.
Yeah, Nancy from New Jersey. Nancy, you are on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Nancy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there, this is Nancy.
Nice to have you here today.
Oh, it's great to be here. I'm excited that I caught this. I'm happy to be here.
Yay. What's your question today? Or thought?
I've been experiencing a lot of shifts during this COVID shutdown. I've really done a lot of changing. I've been doing EFT, and I'm planning a move to New Mexico.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm excited about it. And I have had in the past issues with depression, but that's been a non-issue. But sometimes physical fatigue, and I've had issues with fatigue and Epstein-Barr, but it seems to flare up sometimes. So I just wondering, I think the move is good. I'm doing it for my health, and I just want to manage being less reactive and those kind of things. And so
Yeah.
can you see that move positively?
It's very good for you. It's very good. I'm actually just going to say I'm so proud of you for listening because it's very positive. It's and energetically they keep saying, like your team keeps saying, it's going to fuel her. It's going to fuel her. So I love that because that means energy physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, psychically. So we're going to adjust the move and then we'll get you grounded and settled in there. It matches your vibration better. So one of the things it looks like you're going to notice when you were saying the area you're in now is heavier for you. So this is you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more like you want to get out of bed and go and just sort of, even if you just sit outside and enjoy the sun, like that's getting out and going too. You're just going to be happier in that. There is, now I just want to look at the Epstein bar because I know a lot of people get that. And, usually that's when it comes in when the vibration started to sink and then it gets low, it gets heavy, and then it finds its way through. So let's start to remove. I'm just going to go through the timeline.
And I'm not sure in New Mexico if I'm going to go to Santa Fe or Albuquerque. I'm trying to decide. I'm going back and forth. So it's exciting, but I haven't decided yet.
Well, they're both reading high. Santa Fe reads a little bit higher, but they're both beautiful places. I can tell you. Well, I've been to both too. So they're beautiful for you, but for your energy, it's amazing. It's really good for you. You just
Which one?
Well, Santa Fe reads a little bit higher, but either one would still serve you very well. Yeah. So hang on. Great. It just says to find the key would be the living place. Like when you find a place, it looks like you look at both, but then you're like, oh, I want to be here. Like your body just gets overwhelmed of excitement. It's like, I want to live in this house, in this place. It's like the location you pick is really good for you. They keep saying it's right for her. Like it's really good. So that I like. Yeah, if you said you were moving to California, I'd be like, probably not, but this is good for you.
Right, yeah. It's supposed to be great for air quality. It's supposed to be fabulous.
Everything. So with it actually looks like too, just watch your, you want to make sure your trace minerals are nice. They seem to go up and down, which affects your body. So we can, thank you, God, start to readjust that. It also shows to keep your sugar intake very, very, very low. It keeps everything nice for you when it's very low. And it doesn't mean you don't have to have it, but it says very low amount. So watch all the foods you're eating, even like high fructose, even like when we get into, I know fruits and vegetables, you got to watch sometimes there. So they just say, keep an eye on it. So I'll just put that, we'll make an adjustment. And I'm just going to thank the power of the hand.
And that I'm working on, I am already working on reducing my sugar. So that's interesting. Good.
Yeah, excellent. It says keep it very low. You're going to notice a big difference. So what people don't realize too is a lot of when you get into Epstein-Barr's and issues like that, they feed on parasites. So parasites are physical, mental, emotional, psychological, very many levels and layers of parasites. And so when you look at it, some people can handle higher levels of the sugar, but when that comes up, usually they'll pull it down. And I'm adjusting it in your field to make it easier for you to also remove it out. And it says for you to really stay away from juice. So, I mean, like all kinds of juice. So, that's interesting. So I'm just going to give you the message. You'll probably know what to do with it. I'm like, okay, no juices. So we'll move this over because that seems to affect the parasitical information in the body.
Okay.
Yeah, you had a lot of challenges in your past. You've done very well. So a lot of your system is ready to let those go as well. So it looks like within the move, a lot of that, where you felt like you kept coming up to challenges, they're leaving now, which will help remove some of this other virus in the body. So we'll just strengthen your central nervous system. How does that feel?
Good. Yeah, right now I'm clearing out my home just to get ready for the move. So it is like a clearing too at the same time. It's actually good. I'm somebody who wasn't very organized, and I've gotten some support with this group for organizing, and it's working out because I've had the mental shift, and now I have the support with that. Before moving, I would want to kill myself over moving.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm excited, so it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I love about moving, I'm hoping to move very soon. One of the things I love about moving, I've moved a lot, is you get rid of stuff that you don't need, that clutters up your energy, clutters up your space. And you realize, I think COVID was good for that too. It made us realize what we just are not important anymore. And most of the things we have are not important. You know, what's important is to be happy, to be with people that love you and support you. And the big thing I like about this move is you're going to have a whole new sense of community. And the word is community, not just friends. I mean, like community, where you're like, wow,
Oh, that's what
this is
I'm looking for
fun.
too. Yeah, I want.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I want to be helpful in the community too. I'm even thinking about maybe being a foster parent down there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I am thinking about that. Oh, it's interesting you mentioned
I
the
have
community.
chills.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, Nancy, I have chills from head to toe. Like you are just, this is what I get excited about. I'm so proud of you that you're taking the action step.
Oh,
This is
thank
how
you.
you move your life. This is what it's about.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It is
Yeah.
exciting. I'm chilly too. That's why I said I'm not even that worried about where I'm going to wind up. I know it's New Mexico, and I know I will wind up where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, you've got so many spirit guides opening doors, change. It's like watching them have a party, like literally a party. And I don't say that lightly. Like they got the streamers out, they got they're celebrating. And a lot of people don't realize our guides, our angels, our teams, they get so excited for us. Like if people could see and feel the energy when we make these moves, they're like, yes, yes, yes. And they want you to feel that, because then they open more doors for you because they know you're listening to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I just have to recognize them more often. Yeah, I know they're here. This is wonderful. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You know what, Nancy, just talk to them every day and just ask for the signs, because if you don't talk to them, they literally sit around having coffee. So just say like, I know you're here, and just ask for the world from them. Never hesitate.
Oh, great. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I love it.
I love it too. Oh, it's so exciting. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I appreciate all your input. It was fabulous. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great, blessed day. Lots of love. We're going to go to Mary Jane from Oakville.
All right. Mary Jane from Oakville. Mary Jane, you are on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Mary Jane.
Hi. Hi, Tracy. Great to hear you.
You too.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Maybe Olivia might have
Hello?
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Good. What's your question today?
Hi. Okay. Oh my God. I've been on my journey for over 35 years, and it's like, when is it going to end? And I've been
when we
through
leave the planet.
really, I've had some amazing stuff, but I've also had some very, very, very challenging obstacles in my life. Right now, there's been a lot of changes. I met somebody 2 years ago in St. Bart's, and we started a friendship, and things have gotten very serious, but I haven't seen them in 2 years because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering where that's going to go and where that's at.
Yeah, there is some energy that shifts. So it's a little bit, as you know, that push pull because of the environment we're in. But as that starts to shift more and the world sort of will move in all these new directions, we're going to have some big kabooms probably by the end of May. I keep saying that into June, which we need to take the direction off of all this nonsense. And then that'll go right into the fall. Thank you, God. It looks like we can open up some doors though here to strengthen the communication a little bit differently between the two of you. So you're facing each other because in the fall, there's going to be a lot of shifting around your energy and around his energy and around what's actually happening. So it says to stay steady, don't get frustrated. We got to keep the communication, because I know when there's also a lot of that distance, right? You can feel like a push, pull. So a lot of times with people that we've been enjoying, yeah, you want to have their energy and just sort of make sure it's facing you, and you know how to do this. Make sure it's facing you and pull it through towards you. So the communication we're going to strengthen. So what I'm told to do is to strengthen the communication and to take it a little bit deeper, if that makes sense. So we're going to take it deeper, and then we have to build this bridge into the fall, where you can see there'll be more movement. Because whatever is coming this May, June, this energy, and I saw it in April, it got moved to June. I thought it would be more financial. This, I don't know if it's financial or global, like environment. I'm not sure, but I was saying this to a doctor yesterday, that I could see that things were going to go kaboom, where people are like, whoa, okay, so let's stop the presses and move. So we got to get through that, because that's going to stop this nonsense going on. Like, it's going to take a big shift. And then it looks like you have more movement, and so does the rest of society as we get back into, October, kind of September, October. Now those energies can shift, but when I move that in your field, it strengthens a lot better, and it looks more calm, and you look more calm. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, because I've just kind of sensed she's kind of been pulling away a bit in the last month, and I think it's just been
fatigue,
frustration on both our parts, not able to see each other.
Yeah, it's fatigue. And so that's why I said we build the bridge, and then we just keep it steady. So we build the communication just to get through the last little hurdle here. And then it actually, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys get a chance to see each other. St. Bart's is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
You need to go there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you need to go there. So I'll shift that. Yes.
Yeah, I've had another two major changes in my life. I just bought a house.
Yeah.
It was a little bit farther away, but we really love it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that,
it's good for you. Yeah, that's good for you. Yeah, you'll be there for a long time.
That's good to hear, because I know there were a couple of omens in the house, and I think my dad guided me there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's very good for you. It's very solid, very stable. And the longer you're there, the more you're going to feel it. So they keep saying, expect a lot of blessings. So, hey, I take that. I take that for sure. Yeah.
Sorry, expect a lot of what?
Blessings. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
a lot of blessings.
Good. Yeah. And the other major challenge I've been having it's been like 9 years dealing with my department head, has always been a bit of a tyrant and a bully. And
yes.
Changed. I feel like it was like a demotion. I was in visual arts, and she's taken that away from me for next September. So I'm trying to, I don't want to make another move in a school, but I think I might I don't know, should I be looking elsewhere? Or
yeah, it's actually so showing. There's two things. Right now it says stay put, but there will be probably again back into the fall around, interesting September. There'll probably be some other opportunities. So you don't have to really go looking for them. It just says keep your ears wide open. You might even overhear something and say, hey, wait a minute, that would be good for me. You don't have to actively be sending out resumes. It's not saying to do that. It says hold still, because especially in Canada, right? We really got to get through, Canada, Australia have been the worst of the worst. And we need to get through this, which a lot of this is going to, for us, finally, probably by the fall, really break out, and we'll see a lot more truths. And so you don't want to rock the boat too much right now while we're doing that transition, but it says keep your ears wide open, because there's going to probably be other opportunity. Your boss is angry as being polite, power hungry, male energy, and I would say borderline. There's another energy that controls them very much. So that's probably what you're feeling, and why because you're very sensitive. And you have to remember that you're dealing with two people there. You're not dealing with one person. There's another full personality. It's similar to many of our leaders, that you can see something's coming out of their mouth, but I can see what's on them. I'm like, if people could see that, they'd be running in different directions. You're dealing with that same kind of, my head is just tingling, that same kind of energy at work.
Oh,
yeah.
It's been immensely challenging.
Yeah.
Dealing with her, and I don't, it's whether to keep quiet right now or to deal with it with the union. And I'm like,
I feel
the more I do that, it's just going to rocket more.
It will. Keep quiet. But one of the things when you're around her, in your head, don't say it out loud. She's going to go, you're not say, look at, like, if you see her, just say, I see what's in you. I'm not going to touch you. I have nothing to do with you. You can stay there. Because also what's happening is when these energies live in people and they see a light, they get very aggressive because they want you to go away. They want you to leave because they're worried you're going to take it off. And I've done a lot of teaching around this. I probably have to revisit it again for people. But if you can just do that, I'm not going to touch you. You can stay in her body. You can play with her. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to do my job. And just say that in your space and just send that energy to her. And it should calm it down a little bit more for you, because now it'll know you're not a threat.
Yeah, well, she's kind of changed my life, and it's like making it more difficult because I was extremely happy with what I was doing.
Yeah.
And it just feels like a demotion, what she's done.
Yeah. So talk at the energy that way, and then let's watch it and see what happens, because there is other things coming. So there's but there's some, I don't know. I don't like to stay in the heavy of that is, but there's other stuff that's going to come down the pipe for her. So you're just going to watch it and observe. So don't worry about that. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank
One
you.
last question regarding my son. He's such
Yeah,
a hard
you have
worker,
to go.
and
Yeah. I only have a minute, so I got to go really fast.
Career-wise.
Just to align for the career?
Yeah, career-wise, he's been at the same place for 5 years, and he's not.
Okay.
Pay-wise, it's terrible, and
yeah,
he's getting very frustrated with it, that he feels he's not getting respected.
Yeah. So let's start to increase the boundaries, the respect, the space, and start to open up new opportunities for him. And we'll start to open that. And then you can find me on the Telegram and we'll stay on top of that. And so thank you. I don't mean to cut you up, but my producer's like, we got to go. So I want to thank you for calling and I'll start to align that. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I know we're live, so I've always got to watch, but Olivia's like, we got to go. So check us out for more clearance activations, things on the quantum financial system, more information of channeling this Saturday, May 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can go to tracylclark.com and join me. It's the Great Reset to the Light is what it's called. You will have a replay for 5 days. Check out the book, God, Where Are You? It's me. Thank you to everybody that called in. I know we have so many callers still. We didn't even get to yet today. I'm doing another call-in show next week. Yes. So I will be taking a little bit of a break, but please feel free to call in next week. And I apologize when I have to cut somebody off at the end, but we are on a time restriction based on we are live. So I love you all. Join me next week, same time, same place, right here on the Tracy L Clark Show. For all of you I haven't met, I'm Reverend Tracy L, and I'm so happy you show up every day. Make yourself a priority. Remember, the light has won, and stop second guessing, because all of those sleepy people are going to need what you have to offer. I love you. Have an incredible week, and I will see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Tracy L Clark Show with me, Tracy L, where I teach you how to connect to the God consciousness so you can unlock your superpowers and connect at light speed and live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where together we will unlock the secrets of your body and your life. As the founder of the Body Regeneration Academy, I, Tracy L, will provide you with the insight and simple tools you can apply right now in your life to move you forward and leave the past in the dust. To join the Body Regeneration TLC Online Academy, make sure you check me out at tracylclark.com.